So it's March 15th, 2021. I don't know, people. YouTube takes away my strike on March 10th, and then March 11th, they strike me again. I put this first in the little bit that I was doing in the bedroom there for Amari's homeschooling stuff. I was taking everything down and going through old containers and trying to find things that I can use to, interact with him, right? And try and teach him things, colors, numbers, ABCs. I don't know how much of that he's going to be able to absorb, but I'd like to get him kind of like really just focusing on things and versus just grabbing and, right? Looking and really just kind of get him thinking. So that's kind of like my goal, right? And that's why I did what I did yesterday. Anyway, justice for ShaMay. For a minute there, I thought I was having a problem getting my signatures. Getting my signatures for the petition. Right? Because I have to get to the courthouse and get that notice of civil claim in the mail and serve my government, people, and show up to court. Have it all written out. What I'm going to say before I even get there. Remind the judge that I'm in a precarious position with a predator class trying to take advantage of the situation, right? And that, I'm facing bias and prejudice decisions before I even get a chance to explain my case, because it's a big cover-up. That's what I'm going to tell the judge with whoever is standing next to me when I'm dealing with this issue in court. I'm also going to let the judge know that I'm going to record the conversation for my own personal records in light of all this pressure that I've got going on in my head with my eyes and my ears ringing and, the whole 9 yards, right? And I'm going to ask for the judge to appoint me a lawyer, right? To make it easy on everybody so this matter can be settled one way or another, people, and then I can get on with my fucking life before I die. Okay? And you already know how I feel about that. Okay? That's the way it's going to be, because I'm getting sicker and sicker with all this stress, government bringing in more stress, right? I'm working hard, moving things around, making arrangements to, I'm having to, move things, people, because I have, when you have a baby, babies outgrow their baby chairs, not Amari. Amari requires bigger chairs that are like permanent fixtures. I'm just using a chair or a wheelchair or something like that as an example. They become permanent fixtures. So, whatever you had sitting over there for 10 years, you're looking at it now thinking, well, it's either fucking put it on the road and let somebody else walk off with it, because, eventually you're going to have to move it, or where are you going to move it so that you don't lose your investment in terms of whatever it is that you have to move and get out of the way so that you can push a wheelchair, for example. And I'm going, I'm sorting out other things. Like, I'm like trying to tell myself, okay, well, maybe you're not going to make outfits anymore in terms of actual sewing, right? Like the good old days. I miss those days. But, it's okay to sell fabric. I'm trying to teach myself. It's okay to sell fabric. Maybe you won't be sewing and selling like you did things before, but maybe you're just going to go into a new phase and start selling fabric. Although I still want to make some things, because as I'm sorting out stuff, I'm coming across stuff that I want to sew. Whether I have time or not remains to be seen. Whether I live long enough remains to be seen, And, so, I'm got that on my mind, right? So anyway, I want to keep this real short, and I'm putting this on Peeps Fashion because as far as I know, I can't post this on my main channel on YouTube because when they strike you, you're not supposed to be able to comment, post, any of that stuff. Like post a comment, upload a video, whatever it is for a week, right? Because this is my first strike. Because they removed the strike on March 10th and then they restriked me on March 11th. I'm just trying to, you know, make sure that they remind me that I'm their bitch, right? And that I got to keep myself on my toes. Now, I don't know if it had something to do with the fact that I brought in the word Israel into my title with variants, or, you know, they just don't like me poking holes at my government in terms of that spin, that propaganda spin, speak with forked tongue, you know, the whole 9 yards, right? Whatever. I'm not afraid to face my government, people. Because if I was afraid to face my government, I wouldn't be doing this, okay? I wouldn't be doing this. All right? Like I said, I feel like I'm a walking fucking zombie anyway, so whatever. It is what it is. At least I walk with purpose, okay? You know, I gave it my best shot. I'm giving it my best shot. But as I'm, you know, standing there, trying to stand my ground, you know, I'm just getting kind of weaker and weaker as I go. Government knows it. Time is their weapon, right? So, whether they want to drag this out and just hope that the problem goes away, I don't know. I'm going to, you know, like I said, ask for a lawyer to be appointed by the court, right? You know, obviously I qualify for legal aid. If I didn't qualify for legal aid, you know, maybe I wouldn't be sitting here talking about this shit, because these people that do this, these individuals that do this kind of stuff, they wouldn't be so quick and apt to attack my family, right? But you see, my family are the receptacles to the recipients, right? They can't illegally harvest organs from, you know, so-called, well, they can if they want to, from rich people, and then give it to rich people, right? But normally it's poor people who are being robbed of their body parts and then sold off to rich people, okay? And that's just the bottom line. So anyway, I don't want to get into that, okay? What I want to say, I have a headache. I have to take some Tylenol. What I want to say is, I printed these out. There's 1,502 to 3. I guess they don't count mine. With mine included, it's 1,503 signatures. So we passed the 1,500 mark. Last time I did an update, it was $14.99. So I'm pleased. That's enough to get the attention of the government. As I said before, I realize it's an uncomfortable subject. People don't want to believe that it's happening in the Western world, only in China, only in Pakistan, only in places like that would this ever happen. Never in the United States of America, never in Canada, because for some reason we're so ethical, even though we're living in a freaking nightmare today in regards to almost everything that I've addressed in my lawsuit, right? Like I said before, on my main channel, right? What Uncle John represents is the tip of the iceberg of what they were doing and what they continue to do today. If they would have dealt with Uncle John, right, like they should have, it would have been easier to hold them to account today to what they're doing to tens of thousands of elderly people as in the here and now. So with that said, I mean, obviously they're not going to want to change the status quo, right? They don't like to take responsibility for everything or anything. I shouldn't say everything, but they don't like to take responsibility for anything. You know, they try to say that they're transparent and they do things with a gold standard, you know, and then, you know, they're accountable to their actions. But we know in the real world, right, as Dr. God, Dr. Death, a.k.a. you know who she is, what to you, right? Whatever she is to you. In the real world, right, we know that governments don't like to take responsibility for too much. But I printed them out. So what I'm going to do with my next video is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read, I guess, the names. And basically from where they came from. Isaac Claiborne, Sugarland, Texas, USA. Hey, hey, hey. Vanessa B., Jamaica, New York, U.S. Hey, hey, hey. Well, I don't know about this one. Xiaogie, and then capital Liu. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Anyway, they're from Calgary, Canada. And then we've got something written, I guess, in Chinese or, I don't know, some other kind of language. It's from the U.S. And then Sakshi K, Mountain View, U.S. Dominor Dor Jr., Bagayan, Drayton Valley, Canada. Anna Amidalidi, Toronto, Canada. Zafar Baybert, Edmonton, Canada. Elzia Marzar, London, Canada. Here we have a Punjabi. Gangdeep Singh, thank you. Vancouver, Canada. So he's from my home town, down here. So I appreciate that, sir. Okay. I think that's a man. Right? Ganadeep could be a woman. I don't always get their names correctly, right? I'd have to Google it. And then Pilo. Anyway, thank you. Pilo, Sparwood, Canada. Vanessa Kane, Montreal, Canada. Lennox Chin, Brooklyn, U.S. Shirley Chin, Caton, Ville, U.S. Derek Admira, Ottawa, Canada. Sunny Wu, that's Chinese or something like that. Because this is a people issue, right? And it falls kind of a little bit under classism. Does it mean that every person that has wealth is corrupt? No, obviously not. Just because there are certain individuals out here taking advantage of public tax dollars and using public systems to commit heinous crimes, just because they come from a particular country, doesn't mean that their whole ethnic heritage, race, right, is corrupt. That, what I just read, proves that. So I did it in spreadsheet, and I did it just with a PDF. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy back to back, recopy back to back, so the papers are a little bit thinner. 70 pages with this, and I don't know how many pages with that. So it'll be 35 pages with the PDF. This one's 31, so after that, right, we'll go with, that'll be 16 pages, right? And then I'm taking the two of them as is with the notice of civil claim, and I'm going to serve my government with through registered mail. And the one thing I want to say in regards to, I'll leave it on this note, and then we're going to add in that little bit with Amari, with the room there, right, in terms of what I'm doing. The Honorable David Eby, Attorney General. Now these guys, they're still in Parliament. They had their little voting session. I guess they got voted back in, and they're still in their positions within the Parliament building. And then we've got the Honorable Mike Farnworth, okay? But I just want to make mention with, I have a headache, people, with David Eby, the Attorney General, back in the day before he got into this position, and I'm talking years and years and years and years ago when Uncle John was alive, and we used to listen to the Parliament and blah, 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 right? This guy was, I don't know if he is anymore, simply because of what we're going through in terms of our government with their actions these days. He fought for the people, like the disenfranchised people, right? That was kind of what he was known for, right? Helping poor people with their issues, whatever those issues may be. So it's in his background to help poor people. And I'm poor people. So, you know, whether he helps me or not, I wanted to reach out to him a long time ago. I think I did at one point, their organization, in terms of like how they provide services for lawyers, advice, and da-da-da-da up in the Vancouver area. But nothing ever materialized out of it, right? Because they worked more with the people downtown than in my area. And what I was coming to them with, more than likely, either had something to do with Andre or it had something to do with Uncle John. It wasn't within their realm to really help me with that. So, but that's not to say that this man doesn't have a long, long history with helping poor people, mainly, with their issues. He was that kind of an advocate, okay, within his constituency, right? But now he's in a different position, having to follow the rules, whatever those rules may be. So, you know, whether he wants to step up to the plate, well, we're not going to know, people, until I get to court. That's all I got to say about that one. Mike Farnsworth, he's a seasoned politician. He's been around for ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Again, Uncle John and I, we used to watch him when they used to have real debates in the Parliament building. I mean, at one point, there was such a thing as called real debates in the Parliament building because Uncle John worked in the Parliament building. He cleaned up after those people. So, you know, right? I don't know about today, but at one point in the past, things were much more real than what they are now. Okay? Because I can do a video and show you how, honestly, I think some of these things that they put online with debates that are going on in the Parliament building have been edited, where they take a video, put another video on top of a video, on top of another video, so you have actually 3 videos playing on one video to make it look like a legitimate video. But that's not the priority right now. Okay, because we all know something funky's going on anyway. So there we go, people. So I'm going to work on this throughout the week. I'll read everything, I guess, just to give a shout out to everybody. It's not about I guess, it's only because I have a headache right now. I want to read those signatures, just do a video, you know, my personal thank you to everybody that's participated and has stood beside my family, has stood beside Uncle John, has stood beside ShaMay, has stood beside Sierra, you know, has stood beside the community, because this is really a community issue, right? It's not just a family, single, isolated issue, right? This affects a lot of people, especially today, with people disappearing into the medical system with no witnesses as to how they're being treated, as to what's happening with their bodies, alive or dead, right? You know, they're not allowed to do independent autopsies. You know, maybe I can't afford an independent autopsy, but out of 5.1 million people, there's somebody out here that would be able to afford that for their own loved ones and get an independent autopsy to be able to have peace of mind as to how mom or dad died, or your sister or brother, uncle, you know, grandpa, grandma, whoever they want to know for sure, 100%, how their loved one died, being that they weren't allowed to be there and witness it. That is something that we're fighting for in British Columbia, Canada, okay? That's what I mean by justice, right? People should have that right. And if they can afford to get an independent autopsy, it should be a given. That is their Canadian right to be able to do such a thing. Okay? All right? So that's why we need a lawyer appointed to this case, so that a lawyer can get that information and that message across to the judge and to the people who can actually make a difference and bring that legislation forward into the freaking parliament, right? And then that's when the rich people will be thanking me, people. They'd be like, you did a good job, Judy. You did a good job. So, you know, you helped us, we'll help you. Okay? I mean, what am I going to need? Not much, right? I'm okay, right? But I do need to know, I have peace of mind, that if people want that right to be able to exhume their loved ones like Sierra and have an independent autopsy done on her body, right? And be able to get that information so that you know in your mind you can rest in peace with whatever it is that happened to them, in this case Sierra, then it's worth it, right? Doesn't matter if it's Sierra in a box being buried or if it's a rich person in a box being buried. Family should have the right to know what happened. And right now, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in British Columbia, Canada, where nobody knows nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because the government is making it too difficult for people to have basic rights to anything these days. So this lawsuit, I'm going to end it on this, people. This lawsuit is very, very, very important. And I just want to say thank you again for everyone that's been towing the line. Okay. So it is March 14th, 2021. I'm a YouTuber. No matter what YouTube does, I'm not YouTube's bitch. I'm just a YouTuber. So anyway, I'm in YouTube jail again for another week. Right? I got that strike in November for medical misinformation or something like that. I don't know what it was. Right? Right. In November 10th or something like that. They released it March 10th, so I had no strikes on my channel on March 10th of this year, 2021, right? I did a video, right? An introduction to Israel and variants. I'm a walking zombie. I uploaded it. I got 26 views, 3 likes, 2 thumbs down, and then YouTube ended up taking down my video, the phone's ringing, and gave me another strike on the 11th. So they removed their strike on March 10th and then striked me again on March 11th. Hold on a minute. So anyway, what do you call it? So, you know, I ended up signing on to Brighton.com. So I have a channel there now. It's just doing a video there. You need a special kind of video editor that does its codecs and AC in audio and blah, 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 blah. So I don't know what editor. I tried an editor, but it didn't work. So okay, so I'm not worrying about that. So I ended up uploading that video to BitChute. So it's there. If you haven't seen it, you can go there and find it. Right? There's other videos I should probably upload to BitChute that have been removed from YouTube. But one day at a time, people. I know I got so many things I'm doing in a day that. So where I am right now is I'm obviously this was ShaMay's bedroom. And Amari is just kicking around right now. As you get your exercise on. Yeah. You'll get your exercise on. Right. And I'm getting up into, because I mentioned earlier in another video, you know, I want to start doing homeschooling, I guess you can say, with Amari. Start teaching him now. Isn't this cute? Look, look, look. Look at these little guys. Oh, right? I got a whole bin full. Yeah, I can't remember. That's the little peanut dog. I don't remember what his name is, right? I got like a whole slew of them, people. Can you see? Yeah, and then it's got all kinds. A whole bunch of them. Look at that. Anyway, I figure we might be able to set him up on, you know, when he's sitting in his wheelchair on his tray, and try and teach him not to grab things, right? I'm going to try and teach him to just, let's stack them one by one, side by side. Because they stand up, right? And then we'll count. Right? Just to help him to learn to focus. You know, there's a whole thing there. And then, I don't know if you remember these little things, but that would, I don't know, like, those things, like, they roll around or something, right? I can't remember what they're called. And then I've got something here that Andre would probably like, but... So anyway, yeah, I'm just, like, getting up and wiping things down, as usual. Such a dusty house. I mean, look at this. Can you see this, people? Like, these are classic, right? These are classic. Like, these are so classic. Right? So we got that. Here's, look at this. Right? So, and it's in its own little bin. So I'm putting that, I already took everything off. They're scattered all over this room. But whatever, you know. I'm like trying not to get discouraged here, people. Okay? So there's, goes on the shelf, and that, I'm hoping I'll be able to help Amari to put them down in a row and count them and teach him to look at them, right, versus grabbing and throwing, and, you know, that's the goal with those, right, among other things like that. And then I got another one from up there. Honestly, I don't know what's in here, but Amari already likes it. What do you hear? He likes it, people. So he likes these ones. You're hearing this, eh? A whole bunch of them. Look at this. I want to see what else is in this. Hey, look at that top. That's a top, people. These are like antiques, eh? They don't make them like this anymore. Right? Ring. Anyway, I don't know what this is. Oh, look at this. You see that? I guess you throw it up and try and catch it or something. Eh? And then there's a little one. That would be good for maybe Alea May and maybe for Andre. What? You like that noise? Here's little... Yeah, you like that one? You notice he's happy with the sounds, eh? I actually got quite a few of these in there. Alright, so... I don't know. There we go. Did you see that? So, anyway. Harmonica. I got other harmonicas around. You like that, eh? So I'll make sure he gets his own brand new. As a matter of fact, here's one right here. This is, eh? I don't know if he can play it. We'll see. And then, of course, Andre has his. I've got my own that's somewhere else right now. And then a ShaMay. So that's what I'm doing right now. I found when I was downstairs, I should really be downstairs, but not right now. I found some fabric for that, to do that puppet. I'm washing the fabric right now. What I'm trying to do with that is make different covers for the actual container itself. One like Savari material, another one is more like maybe a barn material, and then I'll cut it, and I guess I might have to sew it or something so that it fits right over the box, right? And then when we want, we can just change the fabric to change the scene of the show, I guess you could say. And we can put appliques maybe on there. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of working on a little bit too. You know, trying not to get all bent out of shape, but we know once I get to my computer and I get on to doing the things that I do, you know, some people don't like that because it's too real in terms of how other people interpret things. So, really what I should do is I've got other musical instruments. I don't need these in here. I'll take out these. I'll put them someplace else, maybe. And I'm getting into all the stamp stuff in here. I'm sorting through them. I ordered some stuff online. So, April, if you're still watching my videos, I don't know. I'm just kind of like gathering up still a few things for your daughter, right? So that when I send out that box, you, what do you call it? She'll kind of have a little beginner set to start with, and then from there, you can add on to it, and if she likes it. I just want to... Well, you'd actually do this on your knee. You get it on your knee, right? You know how that works. Hold on. Sticking. Oh, it was working for a minute, and then it stopped. And the spoons are shifting or something in here. I've got other little musical stuff that I'll find. I have it someplace else. And I'll just top that off. Andre already has one of these. Now, these aren't like the official kind, but they still work. You see the big mess I made? I'll show you. See? Just pulling out, going through stuff. I'm going to start selling off some stuff here. I don't know what yet. Alright, you can see, like I said, Andre's actually started to sort out stamps in here. Alright, here's an old Chinese checker thing that I just brought down. Well, I don't know how to play Chinese checkers, but maybe I'll play with Amari. I mean, with Andre. So you see what I've done now. So these containers, right? I'm taking them from up there, seeing what I can maybe use. So hold on. And then I get real sad because I see stuff like this ShaMay made, right, when she was about 8 years old, when we lived in that shanty shack. That's what I was doing with the kids. This one's ShaMay's. It's been hanging in this room ever since we moved into this house. She hung it there. That's hers. So, of course, when I see stuff like this, I get very sad, right? And basically, people, I'm sad every day. I just don't talk about it. Okay, so the battery's going on this, so I'm going to have to go put it in and recharge it pretty soon. Plug it back in. So, you can see what's going on in here. It's like little puzzles or something. And stringing of beads. Right? I don't know. You know, again, this is where Amari is going to have to learn how to not grab. Which, if he sees it being built, you know, maybe he'll, I don't know. Kind of looks complicated, don't you think? Right? There's a little alligator. So, I guess, I don't know. Should be ST. Alright. But, look. Right? So there's that. Plus, that's for beading. So that's good. Alright, so I'm putting them up there. And then I guess, you know, I mean, come on, people. I want to know what's in that one. Right there. Alright, got some fun stuff in here, people. So, as I'm emptying one shelf, I take out the more complicated stuff. It's just piling up, though, right? You know, better to have than not have, right? You know, I tell myself don't worry, but I worry, people. Alright, my government does not have my best interest at heart. This is good for Amari. I've got other ones when I used to go out in the courtyard with the kids. Oh, 2 boxes, 1 box for sure, of these things in a different spot. But this is a good start. You can see. Alright, ShaMay likes these little things too. Alright. So, maybe we'll be able to teach Amari what a bear is. Alright, that's a little bear. And giraffes. Lots of giraffes. There's like 3 of them in there. There's a tiger. Look at that tiger. That's a nice little tiger. Look how nice that is. That's rubber, right? That's this one here. Looked like maybe it had a battery. So I'll have to check it, double check it, make sure everything's okay. But that gets him started with a few things, right? And what else we got in here? So, and then I already wiped down the containers. And then because I want to get into art with him, I have more of these kicking around too. Alright, sometimes I cruise Facebook, and one time I got a really good deal on this stuff. But to start, it's already in it. It's already in its own container. So maybe we can teach him to hold it and stamp, and when he pulls it away, he realizes that there will be a picture there. Right? It's just another learning tool. Obviously, that's not working no more. Oh, well, maybe it is. My thumb's going red. But, okay, hold on. Okay, now I also have a lot of these children things too, which I should probably bring some in here, but I don't know. I need to make it where it's easy to get to. It's almost like I have to... Oh, people. But I have, you know, those, I don't know what these are called, but you match them up right to where they belong. Looks like there's 2 missing, unless maybe 1 dropped out of the bag. But that's okay. But, you know, anything to maybe get him to focus and think, right? Like I said, his mother was extremely smart, so I think it's inside Amari, too. We just got to find a way to tap into it. So, well, you see, it's not easy doing this. No. Okay, so little ShaMay is going to be happy with this. I've already shown her lots and lots of play food, and boy, oh boy, does she ever like it. So anyway, I have play kitchens out in the garage, which I'll be pulling out here very soon, and setting it up somewhere with her play food. I don't know who played this. So now we know what's in this, so I'm going to keep this down because Andre used to play with this, right? That's why I have it. And speaking of Andre, contrary to what Eleanor Gilding has to say, Uncle John loved his family, and he didn't abandon his family, people. Just remember that, okay? Uncle John still has a voice, all right? And then here we've got Sierra looking really, really good with Andre before they took Andre. So I don't know why they took Andre other than they could. Right? You know? Just throw her out in the streets. Make her homeless in the middle of the winter. Put the pressure on me that if I have her at the house, they're going to come in and take Andre. So she doesn't come to the house, and they end up taking Andre anyway because that's always what they wanted to do. Right? So she gave up her life for her son. He gave up his life for his family, who is Andre, Sierra, ShaMay, Marcane, Brooks, Tisha, me, ShaMay, and now Amari. Okay? Just remember that, people. Uncle John didn't abandon his family. Uncle John actually had integrity. Alright? Now, I'm trying to stay positive in here. It's coming along. You can see what I've done. Right? I'm just trying to make things, you know, things that I can use easy. Right? This is art stuff in here. This is music. Right? Whatever. We'll put another one up there. This is little, I'll show you one day, right? Little nose arc and stuff like that. Here's cards and, you know, this is activity cards with ideas. I don't know what this is. Based on the latest research about how children learn to read, phonics of some kind, right? I don't know if Amari will ever be able to do that. And then I found this. This ShaMay is going to like this one. This is a little magnet board. I've got more of these things around. I just have to find them. In terms of those things. I might even try it with Amari. Hard to say, you can see. But I got something kind of cool here for Amari. Where did I put it? Here it is. Hold on. Here's a little teddy bear box. A teddy bear chest. I don't know what's in here. I should probably give this to ShaMay, maybe. She'd probably like that. It's a little box. We'll see. Maybe I'll just put it up and save it for her when she gets a little older. Andre likes doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, he already made this one right here from Paris. Right? We got that downstairs So I don't know what this one is. Something. I don't know if it's all. I don't know which one it is. But anyway, Andre can do that because he likes those. But look what I found for Amari. Look at these. These are nice. Colors. Yellow. White. Red. So, obviously, would be good for a ShaMay to match up. Right? I'm just thinking for Amari at this point. And then I've got actual blocks, wood blocks and that kind of thing. Oh, sorry. Up in there. Alright. I can bring that down. Isn't this just the cutest little thing? These are little felts. Here's Thomas. When Andre came back, I got him back. He really liked Thomas. Look at this. It's the cutest little thing. My battery's going to die here in a second. Look at that. I'm going to use this with Amari now. What do you think? Okay, so this battery is going to go here in a minute. All I did was just kind of move things around, people. Right? Story of my life. But anyway, I got a few interesting things in there for Amari, right? Got some paint and stuff like that, and a lot of pop-up books and things to count. We'll figure it out.